Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Got another re-update video for you guys today. This time it's on my Lost World Dinosaur. Been meaning to do this for a while, but I had to wait on my Borolo Dragon, which finally came in. Really happy about that, so anyway, let me go and show you what I got this time around, and yeah, this will be pretty fun. Alright, so starting off, I'm going to be playing 3 copies of Ultimate Conductor Town. Since this is primarily pure Dinosaur, you're going to be running plenty of Dinosaur monsters as cost to play Ultimate Conductor Town, so great card. Next up, you got your Rhoda and your Foolish Burial card, Soul Eating Oviraptor. This searches out everything you'll need, so no reason not to run it at 3. Next up, playing 2 copies of Dinowrestler Pankratops to free summon, and to go with our Dinowrestler place, because we do run a small engine, Dinowrestler Stegosaur. Now that card has a great effect. If it's special summoned, you can either add a Dinowrestler monster from your deck to your hand, or World Dino Wrestling. So it's a good way to, it's another terraforming card, but it also searches out our Pankratops too. And generally, if your opponent controls more monsters than you can summon Dinowrestler Pankratops for free. Okay, so moving on. Playing 2 copies of Baby Ceratosaurus. Only 2 because it can be slightly cloggy at 3, but that being said, I'm also running the 1 copy of Petite Pteranodon. Mainly because, why not? And plus, it also summons Dinowrestler Pankratops for free as well. But of course, it can't attack that turn, but you generally want to try to get as many of those Pankratops out as you can. 1 to tribute itself, 1 just to keep as a 26k body. But Baby Ceratosaurus, it summons out your Stegosaur, your Oviraptor, your Giant Rex, pretty much all our low-level dinosaur monsters if they're destroyed by a card effect. We're going to be playing 1 Giant Rex, 1 Jurek Alo, 1 Miscellaneousaurus, and only 1 Qualis because you never really want to see it. You kind of just want to pitch it to get the pill out. And yeah, but if you do open up with it, if you can manage to banish 5 dinosaurs successfully, you can bring it out. It's a spell and trap negate, which is generally good against Ultrageist or Sky Strikers. Running our Kaiju package of Gamma Seal, Kumungus, and the one that's searchable through Oviraptor's effect, Dogoron. And our hand traps, 3 Ash, 2 Ghost Ogre, and that's pretty much it for the monsters. My only gripe with the Lost World variant of Dinosaurs is that it doesn't use Double Evolution Pill to its full potential. Let me go and readjust the camera just slightly. But yeah, you don't have a lot of non-dinosaur monsters, which is why I don't like it as much as I do Shaddoll Dino. Alright, that'll do it. Alright, so moving on to the spells. Be playing, of course, 3 copies of Fossil Dig. Rhoda's at 1, but this is still at 3, so yeah, it's pretty good. 3 Lost Worlds. This card's amazing. It weakens all your opponent, basically weakens all monsters that are non-dinosaurs by 500 attack and defense points. And whenever you summon a dinosaur monster, you get to give your opponent a Jurek token, and they can't target any monsters except tokens. And finally, if you generally want to keep that token alive, you can pop it with Soul Eating Oviraptor and then protect it with Lost World to pop a baby, so it just synergizes so well. We got Dino World Wrestling, which has a really awesome graveyard effect. You can banish it, special summon 1 Dinowrestler monster from your deck. So it's a good way to get that Stegosaur out or Dinowrestler Pankratops. So yeah, it's a pretty nasty combo. 2 copies of Terraforming to search out the Lost World or that Dinowrestler if you want, or that World Dino Wrestling if you want, but I generally just search out the Lost World only. 2 copies of Double Evolution Pill. Again, if this deck could play it at its full potential, I would run it at 3, but 2 is more than enough. 2 Foolish Burial Goods to send that World Dino Wrestling to the graveyard as quickly as you can. You definitely want to use it for its graveyard effect. 1 Foolish Burial. 1 Uninterrupted Kaiju Slumber, which also searches out your Kaiju if you banish it from grave. And 1 copy of Dark Hole. Clearing boards is a lot easier now that Firewall's gone, and you basically just want to try to clear out your opponent's boards as quickly as you can, so that's why I feel like Dark Hole and Kaiju Slumber are more viable in this format, so yeah. You can even play Raigeki if you wanted to. Alright, moving on to the extra deck. Playing Borolo Dragon. Finally happy I got this. This outs Borosaur Dragon, so yeah. And it's a cheaper option now. If I had Borosaur Dragon, I would run it, but I don't. So for now, I'm playing Agave Dragon, which is actually really good in this deck. You could potentially pull off all 4 of its effects since our extra deck does contain dragons, contains at least 1 worm and 1 sea serpent. So, and it's just one of these cards you kind of want to use to go for win. Gains a 200 attack points for every dinosaur. You can inflict 300 or 100 points for every dragon. and weaken your opponent's monsters by 300 attack points for each sea serpent, and then you gain life points for each worm. And so, yeah, like I see, potentially pull off all 4 of its effects, but I've generally just used it for its power boost effect. Next up, we got Topologic Trisbana, which is really good in this format, especially against Ultrageist and Trickstar and Sky Striker. If you summon Giant Rex, for example, as I mentioned in the last video, to one of its link arrows, you banish that monster, banish all spells and traps, and inflict 500 points of damage to your opponent. So it's kind of like Chaos Emperor Dragon in its own right, but only does contain the cost of banishment, but Giant Rex comes back anyway, so yeah. 1 Reaperdocus, you know, pretty standard choice, changes the type, or monster type and attribute, so really good. 1 Pentastech to give Ultimate Conductor piercing damage. Got the Nightmare Engine, Cerberus, Phoenix, and Unicorn just for spot removal. So all really excellent choices. For the Xyz monsters, got 1 Logia, which is your Judgment. 1 Doko, which is your Strike. Dweller, you know. Tornado Dragon, it's another good spot removal. And Gustav Max, which, you know, just for time rules. And yeah, got High Speed Roy Chanbara, can attack twice, and, you know, gets a little bit of a power boost. 1 Trishul, which is a lot easier to make in this deck now than ever because of the Dinowrestler combo. So yeah, so Trishul is definitely a great card. Does not target, banishes your opponent's resources. Not a good matchup against Thunder Dragons though, because they get their effects off banishment sometimes. So you definitely don't want to use that against them. But any other deck, it should be fine. Up for the side, 2 copies of Drone Lockbird, 3 Mind Control against Thunder Dragon, as well as Forbidden Chalice. If I had impermanence, I would run that instead, but can't afford it, so Forbidden Chalice is a good substitute. Or Effect Veiler. 2 copies of Twin Twisters. For any back row heavy strategy like Paleo and Ultrageist, Red Reboot's definitely a great matchup. It also shuts down True Dracos too, because True Dracos is starting to see some relevancy again. So you definitely want to be prepared against them. And Rivalry of the Warlords, this does not affect your deck whatsoever because your deck's primarily pure Dinosaur, and half the time this deck doesn't even rely on its extra deck. You only just use it if you're generally going to go for game, like just like that, or if you already have a way to OTK your opponent with the Tyrannos, just go with the OTK option, you know, just focus mainly on the main deck. But Rivalry is just a good option, you know. You don't have to run it if you don't want to. You could also go with cards like Mask of Restrict, which really hurts Thunder Dragon and Sky Striker because they can't use Raise Effect, they can't use Colossus. It's also good against True Dracos because they can't, you know, tribute monsters at all. It really just shuts the deck down entirely. So yeah, it's really all about personal preference at this point. Well, anyway, hope you guys really enjoyed this, and I'll catch you guys again on the next video.